I feel like I got out of Bristol fairly unscathed. We only added one new rival, and that is Elliott Sadler. We had Jeffrey Earnhardt going in. Chris Buescher and Jamie McFlurry and David Reagan and AJ Allmendinger all are getting pretty upset with me, as well as Ryan Blaney, Clint Boyerland. It'd be easier to name the ones who aren't mad at me, such as Matt DiBenedetto, Denny Hamlin. I think it's something about the purple car. Timmy Hill, for some reason, even though he's at the back and I always run into him. Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano, McDowell. Is anybody still friendly with me? Not just neutral? Yeah, Kurt Busch for some reason, because I've hit him 100 times, and Dale Jr., I stole his ride. Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, Cody Ware, all fine with me. Just as we get up here, it's Earnhardt and Sadler. So let's head to more short track racing at Richmond and hopefully make some more people mad. So here we are at Richmond Raceway, ready to go short track racing once again. These kind of tracks have been pretty good to me so far throughout the season. I'm hoping we'll have the same success here. Let's get qualified. So does my string of being the worst qualifier in NASCAR Heat continue? Yes, it does. 30th place. That is mediocre. And that's just the way we like it, right? Comment section? Oh, wait, no, you don't like that, do you? Ryan Newman is on the pole, so this is just it's all topsy-turvy day here at Richmond. Let's see if we can work our way up from 30th on the grid. All the rivals are behind us, so hopefully we'll at least avoid them. We'll see.
We're coming to you from Richmond International Raceway for the Toyota Owners 400. Today, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series makes its first of two stops at this 0.7-mile asphalt track. The drivers love coming here because this D-shaped oval has multiple grooves that offer lots of great passing opportunities and tons of side-by-side racing. We love coming here for the same reason. So let's get ready for some racing.
That helmet statue is oddly grotesque. Anyway, we're underway, driving through the middle already here on lap 1. We definitely got a really, really good launch. I played with the gear ratios a little bit to try to give my car a little bit better acceleration, and it certainly worked there as we are 3 wide in between Danica Patrick and David Reagan. Now making a little bit of contact with is that Castle? Yeah, that's Castle in an alternate scheme. Oh, these alternate schemes always give me a lot of trouble. Especially when it's a car that's almost always another color, and then it's a different color one weekend out of 36, and it's very confusing. As we work around the outside of Danica here, try to get around her, and now in behind DiBenedetto, who's one of the purple-friendly cars, so we want to be nice to the purple-friendly cars and not have any trouble there. Stage 22 laps long. Let's take a look at, okay, so fuel, we're good. We can make it to the end of the stage and then pit at the end of the stage to make it to the end of the next one. As we make a little bit of contact with Paul Menard there, but it's okay. It's Paul Menard. I think he'll be all right. He's a pretty even-keeled guy. 21 laps to go in the stage, working around the outside, just getting on the brakes a little bit, trying to keep the car somewhere in the groove as we almost catch the outside wall, get a little bit behind Trevor Bayne, diving up the inside, 2-3 wide, and Bayne actually really worked Kurt Busch up there. So that was fun. Almost up into the top 20. We had a couple positions to go to achieve that goal. And can't quite get there yet. Blaney and Jones side by side, but the car's working pretty well. I've started working with tire pressures as well as doing gears and the typical wedge adjustments that I always make to the cars. And I've found that I've definitely been able to get the car much more stable in the corners. As you can see, there's a little bit of a slide there, but that was more because I was just driving in too deep, lifting off the gas, catching the brake a little bit. But as a general rule, the car feels a lot more stable. It's willing to stay together a lot more, and I attribute that to lowering the tire pressures, especially on the right side. And that helps immensely. It helps the car turn in and be more stable. So I don't know why the default settings are so poor, but maybe they'll fix that someday. Maybe in the next game. Who knows? But we're up to 16th place already, following behind Austin Dillon. This is not the Dillon that wants to fight Kamikaze, ironically enough. But we're going to try to work around the outside of him anyway. And we clear that Dillon, so that's a good thing. Now in behind our teammate Chase Elliott and our teammate Casey Kane. In fact, it's a Hendrick Motorsports reunion for 13th place. As Elliott's making a move looking to the inside, but we're just going to try to drive around the outside. I've absolutely got the car working very well. You can probably hear the spotter keep telling me best lap ever, best lap ever. It's just because I just keep going underneath the my personal record was way on the apron there. That is not the place to be. But now Chase Elliott was very nice to me because I've been nice to him. So we hope we don't cause any more trouble, as I was not very good on the brakes down into turn 1, just trying not to smack into him off of turn 2. Down the back straightaway once again to the inside and following behind Casey Kane. Getting that draft on him and rolling down into turn 1 once again just that quickly. Very fast laps, obviously, because Richmond is such a short track. Hence why we call it a short track. So I almost go out there and smack the wall once again for good measure. Lift off on the brakes a little bit. Around the outside, just chop down in front of Casey, get a draft on Allmendinger. Crossing the line, 13 laps to go. Again, my best lap ever. Took a little too much out of the car that time. Caught the wall just a little bit, but we'll be around Casey Kane. Maybe Kane working back on the inside. Now he's gone. Good. Goodbye, Casey Kane. Be gone with you. And now we'll try to work around the outside of AJ Allmendinger. As we get further and further up in the field, it gets harder and harder to actually make passes. Looks like we make clear Allmendinger here with help from Clint Boyer. Just giving me a little sniff of draft, and then we'll work way to the outside. Drove it in way too deep. We'll cut in front of Kane there just to make sure that he doesn't capitalize on my mistake. 11 laps to go in the stage. We're still not into those stage points. Oh, those important stage points we need. And Allmendinger pushing up the track just a little bit. We'll sneak underneath him to the inside and slide underneath. Oh, very nice. Okay, so can we get up to Suarez and make that move for the 10th position? Get at least a little something out of this. We'll see. Boyer's down to the inside. It's going to be tough to pass him on the outside. We'll get on the brakes just a little bit, slide the car. Try to drive around the outside of him. Can't quite do it. Boyer holding his own. Fastest lap ever again.
Right there.
When we're going to stop hearing that today. That's a good run off of turn 2. I knew I had him right at that point. I was like, yep, I'm gone. And it was as it was foretold. Now we're down here on the yellow line, coming out behind Kyle Busch as Suarez almost puts him in the wall. We've broken into the 20s. So clearly I've figured out how to drive this track. I think I just need to turn practice on or something before we do qualifying, because I think that's just my problem. I just don't take enough laps before I come to a track, and then I show up at the track and I'm good in the race, but it doesn't matter a whole lot in qualifying. We still got 7 laps to go. Easy for me to say. So we still got quite a few positions we could make up here. Let's see if we can do it. So we get in here behind Suarez. He's fairly slow as he slots in behind Martin Truex Jr. And Truex still just running that bottom. It's very strange. So we slide to the outside, way to the outside. A little too outside, I would say, that time around. That's the Larson line, as it will forever be known, I think, as, whoa, Truex shoved Suarez up the road, and around I'll go, so that's fantastic. Orange on orange car violence, but we managed to pull it off, so I guess that's okay. Got McFlurry up here in the gear wrench car. Try not to smack the wall, David, please. Or I mean the safer barrier. Safer barrier. Not the wall. It's not the wall anymore, it's a safer barrier. And here comes Truex, still the inside. So it looks like definitely side-by-side racing is a big deal here. Can't quite clear somebody, even if the top lane's slightly faster, because of course the shorter distance is around the bottom. But it may be that we're going to take the lead here. Yes, we will. Now in behind McFlurry. Getting a good run. Look at me loosen the car up on the banking on the yellow line. 3 laps to go, and we should be able to get to the inside of McFlurry, but he's going to dive back to the inside. It's going to be a great duel right here. Let's drive around the outside of him. Come on, baby. There we go. Oh, look at that. Beautiful braking. Into turns 3 and 4, and we'll pull off the corner away from Jamie McFlurry. Oops, that's wall contact. We got 7/10 of a second to make up on Brad Keselowski. We're almost up into the top 5, which is a really, really good run so far. And I see lap traffic out in front. Don't know if we're going to catch him in the next lap and a half, but we'll have to wait and see. That could really make things spicy. As we dive to the outside of Keselowski. 1 to go. Presented by Credit One Bank. And we are definitely going to get around Keselowski. Yes, we will. Oh, if we got pit stops, everybody's going low. And that was almost contact there. Well, it was contact between me and Hamlin. Yeah, they're out of fuel. The AI cars run out of fuel. We will take 5th. That's surprising. I wasn't really thinking we were going to get 5th. Harvick won the stage because Newman ran out of fuel, or maybe Harvick was running out of fuel, but he was still able to outbrake Newman into the corner. So we'll pit. We don't need any repairs. The car is handling absolutely beautifully, so we're not going to touch anything on this bad boy. And we've got 4 positions to make up. Unfortunately, no lap traffic in that stage. That's a bit disappointing, despite the fact that it ran green the whole way through. But here we go. Look at that acceleration again from the gears. Just look at that. It's like a shot out of a cannon. And to the lead we go around the Busch Light car. So on the throttle, let's go. Let's pull away a little bit. Let's see what this old Nationwide 88's got. So I'm a little bit squirrely going through the corner. Here comes Kevin Harvick looking for some room. Can't quite get there yet. I think his window's legal. I'm not sure. I'll have to check that. And here comes Jimmy the Juggernaut, who at the time I'm recording this just got announced that that old 48 car is no longer going to be sponsored by Lowe's. And honestly, if I was predicting what's going to happen to that 48 car next year, it's probably not going to be there. I'm going to call my shot on that one. At least maybe Jimmy Johnson not driving it. As strange and scary as that is to say. We'll see, though. It's a long season. If he wins another championship, maybe things will change. But the way things are going right now may be a quiet end to Jimmy Johnson's career. Who knows? A lot of things up in the air. A lot of things up in the air. So here we go. Into turn 3. Really drove the car in deep that time. If I drove a little bit smoother, I think we'd have a little bit better lap time. Let's see if we can achieve that as we just drag the brake a little bit going into 1 and 2 on the throttle. Can't quite get it quite out of the corner the way I would have liked to. Probably could have really been on the throttle there. On the brakes. And off of the corner. We've almost got a second on the Juggernaut. We're still not in the 22nd bracket, which is kind of disappointing. We'll see if I can pull that off, though. I do know. I mean, I set my fastest lap ever in traffic, of all things. I think I was passing Clint Boyer around the outside. So the lap time is certainly in the car. Nope, that was slower that time because it was slower off of 3 and 4. That was not a good corner. That was into the wall. I think it's 3 and 4 where I'm kind of losing time. I was trying to try a different line in 1 and 2, but 1 and 2 is not where you lose time. 21.4, so we're losing. We lost it in turn 1 and 2 that time by pushing up and smacking the wall. This time I'll keep it down low, ease it off the corner. Lift on the brakes just a little bit, on the throttle once again. Probably a little too far behind, but we'll see as we cross the line. There you go. Hey, I figured out how to really do a fast lap at Richmond, so we know how to do it now. So I'm just going to keep doing it. So nice and easy through 1 and 2. I think I really take a kind of a risk in 3 and 4. I don't think I really did it quite that well, and I could pick up the throttle too early. So we'll just smack the wall a little bit. Almost got wall glitched. That would have been a problem, and we only lost 2/10 despite that. So that was probably working up to a really freaking good lap. Oh, and a yellow. That was lucky because I almost smacked the wall. Yeah, so thankfully no damage done to my car. Though it looks like Kyle Larson. Oh no, Senpai. Senpai's in trouble. Well, that's unfortunate. We're not going to pit. Don't need to. But that eliminates the possibility of lapping cars. And, you know, I love to lap cars, so it makes me a sad panda that we can't get to lap cars. But oh well. Back to racing. Juggernaut, not a very good restart. In fact, Brad Keselowski definitely, I think, got a better restart on that one. But now we've got worn tires to deal with, so we just got to be a little more cautious on this one. We get the on the brakes and off of the corner, crossing the line with 9 laps to go on the stage. But we know how much time we made up on the last stage with about 7 laps to go. So there's definitely a lot of room to gain, and we're already 7/10 ahead of Mr. Keselowski. So as I pull off of the corner, once again crossing the line, 8 laps to go. That was a 20.9. It's a fantastic lap. It's exactly where I want to be. A little bit out of the groove again in 1 and 2. Not amazing. We definitely lost a little bit of time there. Right down. Oh, I actually had to. I pulled up a little too much. I think I would have been okay. I let a little bit of slack into the car, and away it went. Or away the front end went, I should say. Off of the corner we go. Down the back straightaway. Nice and aggressive into 3 and 4 on the throttle once again. Not pulling away from Brad the way I would like to. Lift off on the brake just a little bit. Again, keeping the car nice and stable through 1 and 2. That's the way you got to do it. And we definitely gained on Keselowski that time. Picking up the throttle. Too early. Too early. 5 to go on the stage. We may be on for our stage win at Richmond. But of course that final stage is going to be the one that decides it, because it's going to be all about the strategy. The strategy is finally going to start playing itself out. Lap cars will be in the mix. It's that final stage that's always so interesting, kind of because it's the way a race usually plays out naturally, with the strategies and long runs and whatnot. Get down into 3 and 4. And around there we go. So coming across the line with 3 laps to go, Jimmy Johnson has moved back up into 2nd place. Keselowski in 3rd. Oh, almost out to the wall again. You heard me maybe throttling the feathering the throttle a little bit to try to keep the car out of the wall in 1 and 2. Definitely tightens up quite a bit on old tires. That's something I didn't really notice all that much when I was out in front by myself, or not out in front by myself. I am just not having a good day listening to or saying, wow, the wires are crossed in my brain right now. Everything I say is like backwards, or everything I want to say is backwards. This is opposite day, everyone. Welcome to opposite day at Richmond. Hey, guess who's not about to win a stage? It's your boy, Dale Jr. So as we come around 3 and 4, out of 3 and 4, gonna take the checkered flag and win the stage at Richmond. So that was pretty cool. And the top 10 is pretty much how it was, because again, we haven't really seen any strategy play out, so nobody's really been able to go from the front to the back. We still have 9 laps of fuel. But unfortunately, I think it's going to be a one-stop race, so I think we're going to need to come in and get 4 tires and fuel. But the people at the back of the field weren't told that, and we've got a rival starting in front of us, Jeffrey Earnhardt. In fact, 2 of them, because 2 rows up is Elliott Sadler. So here we go. This is going to be interesting, maybe, unless I pass them both by the time we get to turn 1. Let's see. Oh, I guess I passed them both. Larson somehow worked the strategy. Now he's back up to 7. So now we're seeing a little bit of something. Some different folks working up front. That's Danica leading. That's me spinning into the field. Around goes Timmy Hill. That's going to be a big wreck. Is that going to bring out a yellow? No. How did they all save that? You've got to be kidding me. There's no way. There's no way they saved that. I'm sorry to go all DW, but good God. There's just there's no way. Anyway, here's Kamikaze's best friend, Ty Dillon, and we are rivaling and taking revenge on Jeffrey Earnhardt as he has trouble in turn 1, but he saves it. Keselowski and Harvick and Logano almost took advantage, couldn't quite do it. Keselowski around the outside, everybody's pushing and shoving to get their way in because my car is fairly damaged after that contact in the wreck, which didn't actually really happen all that much. And yes, as I was saying, as I was spinning out on the apron, Danica leads the race. And here comes some stops, including what may have been Danica Patrick, but it wasn't. We got into the back of Hamlin. He's one of the few friendly drivers with us. In fact, Harvick is too. So I guess everybody who's up at the front is friendly with us. That's interesting to know. And Ty Dillon, way down to the inside, shoves Harvick. It shoves the beer wagons wide, in fact. Oh, 5 wide. We were 5 wide there for a second as Hamlin dives to the inside. Oh, yes. Look at that. Look at that. That is a 4 wide pass for position at Richmond. I saw the opportunity. I dove to the inside, and I took advantage of it. So now, Senpai is leading. What did I say? I guess, yeah, what I said. Again, this third stage is always so crazy. And once again, well, that's just self-inflicted craziness right there. That 4 wide pass was all for naught. There goes Daniel Suarez almost spinning around. Now I'm starting to get a bit cocksure, so we don't want to be doing that. And we fall back to 13th place. And there's lap traffic coming out of the pits, and Jones is slowing me down. I'm hating that. Man, that was crazy. And still, Senpai's pulling away. I thought I was going to catch him, but apparently not. 41 laps to go. Fuel tank is at 20. So we're just about going to be able to make it when we have to come into the pits. As lap cars come out of the pits, we're 4 wide again here at Richmond. So we make contact with the Bain train and Eric Jones, and my car is all many shades of yellow. So crossing the line with 40 laps to go. 60% of the race now done. And in the fuel tank is 19 laps, so we're going to be right about splitting this thing halfway when we come in for fuel. That's the way you do it. As Jeffrey Earnhardt is still up in this pack, and out of the groove goes, Matt DiBenedetto, and they're going to go 4 wide again because DiBenedetto decided he was going to try to slam Ryan Newman, and I really got on the brakes pretty hard there. Here comes Clint Boyer. Clint Boyer almost ran into the back of me. What is this race? It's gone from a pretty boring, albeit honest with you, race, pretty standard, to very, very crazy. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that those slow cars decided to stay out, and we've got kind of the lap traffic situation going on now because they had to pit under the green, and things are getting wild. And there goes Jeffrey Earnhardt to the outside, so I'm going to be stuck, trapped behind my rival, which is not a good thing. This is exactly what we don't want to be doing, and Earnhardt lambs into me. We go around the outside of him. No, because Clint Boyer is going to be down to the inside. So we're just going to shove Jeffrey Earnhardt. Into the wall goes Jeffrey Earnhardt. A little bit of revenge, and that brings out the yellow. Well, that's not really what I wanted to do. With 37 laps to go, we can't make it to the end by pitting under the yellow, but I could pit and get repairs done. We'd be 29th. I think I'm going to do it. Senpai is also pitting, but we can take tires here and not have to suffer the consequences. Now, what I'm a little bit worried about is that we'll be starting with Earnhardt around us again, but, it's Sadler on the outside. Yes, it is. So we've got to be careful here. But the one thing we have an advantage, well, we have 2 things now. We have tires, and we have this acceleration because of my new gears. Look at that. A beautiful acceleration. 33 laps to go here.
Still there.
The fuel tank is saying 26, so we can come in for a splash, and that's a heck of a lot better, especially considering everybody's going to have to pit
Stay low. Hold your
once
line.
again,
Clear high.
than having to come in with all of them when they pit once again, because we'll have possibly 1.5 laps up on the rest of the field, outside of Larson, of course, who's on our strategy now. So It'll be me and Senpai running at the front. That's the way we do it. Oh boy, 4 wide again. We've got to make sure we keep Larson away. That's really the key. It's not quite as important to come up through the field and absolutely tear through it.
Hold your line. You're 3 wide.
But we got to stay away from Larson because he's coming behind. He is just behind Jamie McFlurry. So the Ganassi guys are together. Oh, it was the car.
Hold your line.
Well, I'd say the car. It was really me just kind of weaving around a little bit there. Not really meaning to, but how much of this do I really mean to do? Oh, outside move. Gotta stay ahead of Larson. Gotta stay ahead of Larson. On the throttle. Side by side to 3 wide. To the inside. Oh, contact with Clint Boyer.
Hold your line.
Almost around goes Clint Boyer, but he saves it. So we're good. Oh, Clint Boyer's almost spinning at Richmond, or spinning at Richmond. Where have I heard that one before? By the way, another random thought. I've been playing a lot of WRC7, and stages mean a different thing in that game. So every time I hear stage or think about stage, like I'm thinking about like a Finnish guy saying, well, I was pretty good on the stage. Well, that's not what, yeah. A stage in rally means like, yeah, like the race. And here it's like mandatory caution. Just kind of funny. Well, anyway, 3 wide with Natty D. And way on the outside is Jimmy the Sponsorless. I think he's gone from the Juggernaut to the Sponsorless. And Austin Dillon trying to pull an Eric Almirola on me, but I am smarter than that. I haven't eaten nearly as much Smithfield bacon as Eric Almirola. So we were able to avoid that. McDowell looking to the inside. McDowell having a good run now. Now that we've kind of seen this pack get kind of split up with the lap cars doing all sorts of funny things and all that good stuff, we've seen a little bit more varied racing here with the different guys in different spots, and that's always fun to see. There's Jones working to the outside, and he's got a better run off the top, so we're going to slide in there and hold him off. And here comes Jones looking to the inside, trying to. 25 to go. Wall. Down to the inside of McDowell. Give him a little bit of a shove. Well, that's a little too much of a shove. We saved him. We saved him. Again, this is the race of wrecking people and not having caution. So we have 18 laps on the fuel. As we cross the line, we're looking at 24 to go. So we're not quite going to be able to make it to the end. I was wondering if we were making up mileage. Not really. If we are, it's not substantial enough to really make a difference. What we don't want to do is bring out the yellow. So no more bumpering people if I can avoid it. Or doing that. Don't bring out the yellow, David. Thank you. Whew. That would have been bad. That would have exactly what I... Oh, good God. Austin Dillon driving like an absolute maniac right now. Oh, no, that was Eric Jones. Never mind. Excuse me. I'm so sorry to Austin Dillon. I assumed he was being the aggressor in that situation, but it wasn't. And here's Larson. Larson's back on my bumper. This is a bad thing. This is not good. Here comes Larson. This is the battle on strategy for the lead, essentially. We need to stay away from him. We need to put these 3 cars between me and him, or these 4 cars, I should say. And here comes some pit stops. So here we go. It all starts to unravel here. How is this going to play out? Looks like Paul Menard got held up there, and thankfully when he got held up, he held up Larson as well, as we're going to just sail it into turn 1, try to drive around the outside of the Purple People Eater here for De Benedetto, which we will be able to do, and now down the back straightaway. On the brakes just a little bit, car wiggling and woggling just a little bit, and to the lead, I believe. Yes, indeed. So now, wall contact. So it's Kenseth behind me, Larson in third, Almirola and Eric Jones. That is the top 5. No, excuse me, I'm wrong. It's Larson back to second. 1.2 seconds, 1.4 now, 1.5 behind me. As we work down through the tri-oval, 19 laps remaining in this one. Fuel mileage, 14 laps, so we'll be pitting with 5 laps to go. To take tires or not to take tires, that is the question. We'll see how far ahead we are from Almirola, because that's really going to tell the tail, or at least whichever the next car is that doesn't have to, that has pitted. We're a lap ahead now. Are we going to get an extra lap here? That's Paul Menard right there. It was one of the cars we were racing with for position earlier, but he is running in 24th place. So, who knows? Corey LaJoie is 4th. One lap behind the race. Elliott Sadler is 5th. One lap behind the race. Blaney and Larson still staying out there, still sticking with it. Just depends what kind of a lead I can hold. And that's the thing. Larson's the one I'm worried about, actually, now that I think about it. He's going to be the reason I take tires or do not take tires, because I do know that the tires are going to be wearing pretty badly by the end of this. The last thing we want to do is just have the tires completely go away and either smack the wall or have one blow out, because that can happen in this game. Do remember in Heat Evolution, Winval blew a tire out at Bristol once, so you can do it. It takes forever to do it, but it's possible. Johnson and Boyer fight for their laps back. We're going to not give it to them, just screw them. Even though Johnson's a teammate, obviously. Oh, God, no, that's a teammate. That happened at this. In fact, that happened right at the point where I was driving on the track, if I'm not mistaken. That was a well-timed meme, if I've ever seen one. We'll work off of turn 2. Still trying to get around old Clint Boyer. Well, a little bit of wiggle waggle once again. And Blaney is now in the pit, so there goes one of my challengers. And around the outside of Clint Boyer as well. So I kind of weathered the storm of them having a massive advantage with new tires. Now we're all kind of on an even playing field once again in terms of tire wear versus how good my car is. So we are only a lap ahead of Ryan Newman, which I feared a little bit. Everybody, the people who have pitted now have made their last stop. So this is where the strategy is going to play out a bit, because you'd assume they'd make that lap up in the pits. So that means Mr. David is going to have to drive like a bat out of you-know-where to get up into the, or just maintain the lead. Oh, contact with Casey Kane. Right now we're not doing a very effective job as we make contact with Jimmy the Juggernaut once again. Now we've got a rival underneath us, friggin' Sadler. Go away, Sadler. I thought I left you in the Xfinity Series. So we've got 10 laps to go here. Fuel mileage, 6 laps to go. So we just keep making mileage. This is what we need to do, because if it's like Bristol, somebody blows a tire out, and we're going to be okay. In fact, if there's a yellow that comes out, we probably will be good to the end. We're 3 wide. Well, we don't want to be the yellow, David. We don't want to be the yellow. Making a little bit of contact with Jimmy. And sliding the car once again, so that's not going to help the tire wear any. As we drive around the outside, try not to hit Jimmy David. He's got enough problems to deal with. And we actually cleared Johnson. I'm kind of surprised that we did that. We're 8 seconds ahead of Larson. 8 laps to go. So maybe Larson's not going to be the one I have to worry about. It's going to be Newman. Of course, he was the pole sitter, so he's definitely got the fastest car here, at least theoretically. Allmendinger's a nice surprise, and what is essentially, I was going to say what is essentially second, but now he is third. Now back to second. So clearly he's having a battle with Keselowski there, and he was losing it. He's losing it again. So it's side by side there, up in front, as Ty Dillon gets lapped by Chris Buescher. Buescher and Allmendinger's cars look remarkably similar this weekend, so that makes it difficult on me to be able to differentiate the two of them. Danica Patrick, who was leading this race earlier, coming out of the pits, but she's now in 40th position, so that's a very Danica day. And Larson's been in the pits, so this is going to tell the tale, and Larson falls way back. So, yeah, we can't do a full service stop. And here comes the fuel mileage. Where is it going to go to 1 lap, as we've got 5 laps remaining here in the race? We need to take a look at tire wear. Tire wear is going to be real iffy. Well, never mind. We got a yellow. That's exactly what we needed to do. So, with 5 laps remaining, 2 laps in the fuel tank. Well, everybody's lapped down. I'm going to get a wave around anyway. They're not going to pass us, so we're going to go with 4 tires. Don't need 2 cans of fuel. We're going to go with a half can. No repairs. We'll go with repairs. We're 1 lap ahead. That's all we need. So Newman gets the free pass. Keselowski and everybody else gets a wave around because, of course, they do. So pretty much we've got the acceleration on them. In fact, we got the lap cars next to us, so never mind. The lap car of Jimmy Johnson. Hey, that's why I fought Jimmy Johnson that hard. So we have that buffer between us. So now Newman. Is he going to be able to close in? We've got fresh tires. We've got light fuel. We've got a fast car. I think we'll be okay. Hopefully there's not another yellow that comes out. It seems like there's always a yellow call at the end of these races. 1 to go. Remember, the overtime line is in effect, so we have to get to the back straightaway to finish the race, make it official. Here we come. Crossing that line. I believe we're across, so race is official now. Next flag going to end it. As we come out of turn number 4, we will take yet another short track win here at Richmond. Fantastic. So a victory as well as a stage win. That was a pretty good day. Only 12 cars finished on the lead lap. Look at all those -1 L's. And then a lot of people taking L's, including Danica Patrick, who took 5 of them. So unfortunate for Danica, but that, yeah, you know how it goes. Money, money, money. Is this a rich race? I can't. No, not very rich. But hey, you know what? It's okay. The money means nothing in the game, so it doesn't matter. But what does matter is the points. With 5 wins, 31 playoff points, and 382 regular season points, we are far and away the points leader over Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson. Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski still continuing that whole Penske deal. And down through the rest of the field, Matt Kenseth with 1 win in 9th place overall. And Eric Almirola making his way back up into that top 10 picture. Fairly interesting. Let's celebrate a freaking win here at Richmond. I may have called this Martinsville. Did I call it Martinsville? Oh well. It's pretty awesome to see that trophy, and once we're adding to a pretty big collection, this 88 car has picked up, and there we go. It's like the freaking apocalypse sunset right now, but screw it. We got to win, and that's all that matters. All right, trash talk on social media time. Let's see what we got. Oh no, I've been sent to the guidance counselor's office.
What in the heck is going on out there? Your driving is absolute garbage. If NASCAR doesn't throw you out or suspend you, one of the other drivers is going to teach you a real lesson.
Oh man, tough love. Oh my God. Roasted by Brad. Oh yeah, by the way, Chris Buescher said share the love. Thank you, Chris Buescher. I'll share a Coke with you someday. How about that? We'll be a part of the Coca-Cola racing family together. How about that? There we go. Okay, well, we got roasted by the guidance counselor. That ain't a good thing. That's a bad day at school, folks. That's a bad day at school. Oh, speaking of bad days at school, we got Talladega next. Well, that's going to be an interesting one. That's going to be a wild one, as it usually is. Hope to see you there. I'm sure everybody's going to want to see Talladega. We'll see you for the Geico 500, where hopefully if it'll be a good day if we don't end up in the catch fence.